So the G20 Summit has begun, and I am seeing a lot of leaders that I always thought, I wish you were one of our leaders in our government because, of course, of how they lifting their countries out of difficulty. And I'm talking about China here. I know it's the Prime Minister of China that is here, but and I know there are some people whose feelings get touched whenever I talk about China, and I think it's envy. But hey, no, it doesn't matter as long as you see the positive of how a nation in 40 years built itself up. That's 10 years where South Africa is behind China. And look at us. Look at us, South Africa. Who we've been playing games. You know why we've been playing games? Because we've been putting people like Brown Mohotsi in government. People, we've been ruled, guys, by people who have no idea whether they are going or coming. They have no idea and have no idea how to govern. That is what we have put ourselves through. Yes, us, the voters, because we are sentimental. And where did sentimentality ends us? Yeah. And then I am seeing a lot of aggressive building of relations with South Africa coming from the European Union. To me, you can almost tell that they are competing with China. China's attention on the African continent is making the European Union extremely uncomfortable. So the European Union had to sit down, of course, somewhere with their think tanks on how do we win Africa. I mean, we must not forget, these are our former colonizers. These are the people who caused pain, havoc, and destroyed the psychology of a black person on the African continent. And now they want to get back, I mean, not even back because they've never been. They want to get into our good books. They want us to partner up with them. And I have no issues with that. We live in different times and we are moving forward in life. And of course, as well, we must not be blindsided by the fact that Europe does not have mineral resources. Well, there might be here and there. Africa has been feeding Europe. Africa has been feeding a very great part of the world. And if you look at the European Union right now and the aggression in trying to win South Africa, because winning South Africa is winning the continent. And I'm talking the sub-Saharan part of the continent, where the high concentration of mineral resources is at, starting from right here. And of course, China, being calm, cool, and collected, and quite conniving, I must also say, they are coming in. And when they come in, they're not only coming in, I think, 100% with good intentions. Clearly, they are foreseeing a future that will advantage China, whether that is in climate change, where water runs out probably in China, and there's abundance here on the African continent. Let's also talk about fertile soil is on the African continent. As China develops, it's going to run out of space or land for agriculture and things of that nature. And you will see them when they come in, they always make a promise that we will change the lives of the community or nearby communities where they are going to invest, type of situation. But instead, they bring their own labor, they bring their own experts, they bring their own. Some of them even end up being illegally in our respective countries on the African continent. Some of them even come with that attitude that a black person is inferior. A black person is only good for one thing and one thing only: cheap labor. And on that path as well, you still have to control the mind and the body and everything about the African person. And that is perpetuated by China, by the way. So I do get those that say, oh, you must not sing the praises of China. They are the greatest human rights violators. I agree. I do. And I'm filming during the day and it's scattered clouds, so there's going to be change of exposure. I apologize, but content is what you should be listening to, I guess. And then then comes Europe. The European Union is coming, of course, with progressive thoughts. They're coming with liberation, liberty in mind, and they're coming up with how they are going to be equal partners to the African continent. And they even, I think they have a slogan, Africa is a partner of choice or something like that. But then I must also say that in as much everything that I am actually observing with the sidebars at the G20 Summit, there's they are talking about renewable energy, they are talking about artificial intelligence, they are talking about agriculture, they're talking about climate change, they're talking about equality or gender equality, they're talking about all these things. But there's something that they are not particularly talking about, which I do believe and foresee to become one of the biggest phenomena in the fourth industrial revolution. Yeah, artificial intelligence or AI, yes. And I think what I'm about to say, it kind of works with artificial intelligence. And it's already started. And that is the creator economy. The creator economy is an industry on its own right now. And if you look at artificial intelligence, the kids, your Gen Zs and your Gen Alphas that are currently, some of them have just graduated from university, they just started a job, but the Gen Alphas are the ones that are going to be affected a lot by artificial intelligence, because the jobs that they are probably studying for at universities and colleges and all these places, they will be taken over by artificial intelligence. And medicine, I mean, these robots are getting more and more and more and more intelligent to a point where you will actually be operated on by a robot. I think that has already started. And then I think somewhere in the United States, they're already testing artificial intelligence, the algorithms in courtrooms. So basically, you are accused of a crime and then you have a trial. Instead of having a judge, I'm talking a human being, sitting on that bench and then hearing your matter. And it's now a robot that is actually doing that, not only in court, but also in the criminal justice system, where the police system, there are algorithms now. There are algorithms. So same goes with the courtroom. The court is the one that's going to determine your guilt or your innocence. And if you are found guilty, in South Africa, we have a principle of mitigation of sentence, where if you are a first-time offender, this is where the judge, the human being, applies their own emotions, they apply their feelings that, oh yeah, this individual, this is their first time, yeah, probably this was a mistake. And then at mitigation, they also look at other circumstances, what contribution this individual contributed in society and all of that stuff. And that what reduces the sentence, because you're a first-time offender and you made a mistake. If you did indeed make a mistake, it was not premeditated, etc. and so on. Versus a robot who doesn't care. The robot is prescribed that the law says for unaliving a person is 15 to life. It says life. Forget the 15-year part. And it's not even going to say provided on good behavior, you will be out on parole at what it doesn't have that time. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that the creator economy needs to be part of the G20 conversation, because this is the next biggest, not only employment of like warm bodies, but also it's going to become the biggest business sector that the world is facing. And let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the creator economy. Currently, online businesses and online education, particularly online education, is becoming a thing. A lot of people are no longer physically going to classes. There are online universities, there are online tutors, there are online what demonstrators and things of that nature. If you look, for example, at YouTube, if you go to YouTube right now, you will find a plethora of tutors, a plethora of webinars, and all of those things. All that falls part of the creator economy, which of course part of the fourth industrial revolution. So without this conversation in the G20, I think there is a great part of the global population that is going to be caught off guard. And these very countries that are in the what do you call this, in the G20, if they're not going to address all of those things along with all the other topics that they are talking about that are important, that will affect us going forward as a I don't know, as a planet, I suppose, they're important. But without the discussion of the creator economy, then I'm sorry, there will be a lot of Gen Alphas that are going to be found, that will find themselves unemployed. They will find themselves very, very frustrated. And in South Africa, yeah, because I'm about to go to our government. These people, they don't even know that we are already in the fourth industrial revolution, because you don't hear these sort of conversations out of their mouths. Instead, they're seeing content creation or the creator economy as a nuisance, something to discard, something not to look at. Instead, some of them, they even want to regulate it. Because once you regulate the future, that's it. You're going to have the fall of the Roman Empire was overregulation. South Africa is already overregulated. And you are discouraging a potential economic contribution that will build our economy if you can only talk about it. And then you have experts that know this. Right now, if you look observing Goldman Sachs is observing the creator economy. And they are already predicting that by 2027, the creator economy, which is sitting at $250 billion, it's going to double by 2027. That is the year after next year. It's going to be sitting at $500 billion. The online the online education space is sitting at $665 billion by 2030. $665 billion. So what does that mean? That means if you enter this space right now, you are facing a very, very successful future. When I say very, I'm talking lavishly, because this creator economy, it gives you flexibility. You can work from absolutely anywhere in the world. If you are in South Africa, for example, you can work at the coffee shop. You can work at Durban beachfront while basking in the sun and the waves and the sea breeze hitting your face, and you're all relaxed and working and making millions, not in rands, but in dollars, or whatever the big currency is going to be in the future. Isn't that something that we should be talking about? Isn't that something that we should already be educating the kids about, or part of the curriculum in primary, high school, all the way, even actually having an entire university course on creator economy? That is what is missing. I'm not hearing the creator economy. And of course, if they are not going to talk about creator economy, they are not going to have the people in that space in the G20, because that is the next big business and economic development phenomena going forward. Jobs are getting taken away by robots. I'm telling you that it's already started. It's already started. Self-service, that is coming out of the fourth industrial revolution. You see it everywhere. And then I would also like to hear how the warm bodies can align themselves with this artificial intelligence so that nobody actually loses their jobs. And it's quite clear as well that as we move forward in the next 5-10 years, if you are an old person, you are going to be forced one way or the other to know something about AI, one way or the other. I mean, that has already started with online banking. If your grandma, uh, she can no longer walk into a bank anymore to go and withdraw money that you sent her. Yes, I do get the money markets at ShopRite, Boxer stores, and all of that stuff. All that is going to come to an end at some point. I'm talking physical money is going to come to an end where everything is going to be done through your mobile. So your grandmother and your grandfather will be forced to learn something, how to actually withdraw money from being sent by yourself, how to purchase using her cell phone. When money, I'm talking the physical bill, is no longer used. So now, these are the things that I would have loved to have heard in the sidebars of the G20 or the G20 itself. But maybe I am speaking way too early. These are the things they're going to talk about, but I have not seen it on the agenda from what I have seen thus far. I don't know. What are your... And this video is not to alarm you, but it's also to start a conversation about the creator economy, because that is the next big thing. That is how people are going to make a living, because robots, they are taking over. I mean, I just saw a creator who bought a domestic worker of a robot doing excellent job. Keep the house spick and span. Everybody eats on time because it cooks, it does everything you can imagine. That's the future we are facing. So I don't know. You tell me, what are your thoughts? And I want to repeat this because I've said it before on this very channel, that if you are not thinking of utilizing platforms like YouTube, platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and make an extra stream of income out of them, you will be one of the people that are going to be left behind. You are going to be one of the people where this window of the creator economy is still pretty much wide open. And it hasn't even scratched the surface yet. It hasn't. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's going to grow even bigger, because by 2030, it might even actually hit $1 trillion to about $1.5 trillion. Do you understand that this is a business opportunity for you? There are people, I mean, I have a channel where I teach YouTube, and I get people that are working that said, hey, I came across your video, I thought about it, and then I put it to the test, and now I am making extra 15,000 Rand a month. Extra. And these are the people who have responsibilities, particularly Black people with Black tax. Now they're able to patch up and even still be left with something. These are the people that have placed themselves when this creator economy now explodes, because it's going to explode. And I'm talking a boom here. And you don't want to be left behind. Trust me, you don't want to be left behind. Instead, yeah, it's all good and well, because if you look at the kids that are dancing on TikTok, they are making money, and they are also taking care of their families by dancing. But you cannot dance throughout your life, right? At some point, the bones are going to say, excuse me, hey, whoa, type of situation. So they will also have to evolve in the creator economy themselves. So you know what you are talented with. And creator economy doesn't require, by the way, a qualification. unless you are going to be speaking about expertized topics like medicine. Of course, I can't talk about medicine because I'm not a doctor. I can't talk about psychology because I'm not a psychologist. I can't talk about those sort of things. Keep away from. But things like cooking, creating recipes, baking, and I'm talking wedding cakes, because when you showcase that on your videos or on digital product, whatever the case might be, you are also exposing your business to people. For example, you create wedding cakes and you either sell the recipes as a digital product or you showcase them on your videos type of situation. I know the creator economy is huge, it's very, very broad. It's not just YouTube and TikTok and all of that. It goes beyond those. You just have to find which one works for you. You're the one who have to find what works for you. The creation of digital products. If you are for example, a student, you can sell tips on how to get an A in an examination. There are a lot of parents that want their children to perform well. They will buy those guidelines, how to study effectively, productivity. All that falls part of the creator economy. Self-improvement or self-development, whatever it is, all falls part of the creator economy. You can write ebooks. If you're a novelist, people no longer read. The bookstores are going to become just like music stores and video shops. Remember, if you wanted to watch a movie, you go to a video store and you hire out a movie and you're given X number of days. All the stuff, where is it today? So same goes with books. People now, when they are flying, they go into wherever ebooks are sold, and then they purchase a book and read while they're flying. So that is what I'm talking about. Right now, AI is also creating music now. You think it's a real person that is singing, only to find out it's a robot. So these are the things that I had hoped would be part of the G20's discussion. And I'm so sorry again with the exposure, guys. It's gonna look horrible. But I want you to hear me what I am saying. All that other stuff is not important. I'm interested to hear what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts about the creator economy? And do you think it's relevant to be talked about by these global leaders in G20? I know that South Africa, when America takes over the G20, the pettiness. Is Donald Trump a Gemini? Is he? Yeah. So these are the things that I think we should be discussing as South Africa, not these frivolous conversations that we keep having. That the conversations are not taking us anywhere. And do you think those members of parliament know anything about creator economy? No, they're gonna tell you about apartheid. They're gonna tell you about Robben Island. They're gonna tell you about Umkhonto weSizwe. They're gonna tell you about all this nonsense that takes us nowhere. Because if they were discussing this, they will see the need to prioritize free Wi-Fi. You want to develop the country's economy? Give the people, especially the young ones, free Wi-Fi. Fagmal Zobon. Anyways, I think I am going to leave this video right here. I hope there's something that you can think about. This is a conversation that is very important. Those of you who actually are well versed in the creator economy, can y'all stop sitting on your laurels and only thinking about yourselves and expose this? Let's have conversations about it. Share your expertise on it. I'm telling you, businesses, that's where they are going to be going to. Business, I'm talking conglomerates here. They are going after content creators. As I've said before, politicians have already started in the United States and Europe. They align themselves with people that have reach. Radio stations and television, they're no longer, they're the thing of the past. They're the thing of the past. And some of them, you can tell that they're trying to incorporate themselves in the new creator economy, which is good for them, by the way. I mean, YouTube right now decided, okay, we know what to do. We are just going to hijack television screens. That is why some of y'all watch me on your television screen. I hear you guys all the time tell me this and I get terrified. Like, oh my God, once upon a time in 2012, when I was still living in Durban, I went to a top billing audition. Yeah, I did. I did. It might have been for fun for me because I knew I don't look the top billing material at all. But hey, it was fun. It was fun to do it. And the question is, what if you got the job? I mean, I would have been on television. Now y'all watch me on television, and I'm like, it's scary. But it's also very fascinating for a creator to hear that people watch them on their television sets. These are the things that we should be talking about. Digitalization, that stuff that we've been talking about forever, SABC, because you keep spending and eating money. And I'm seeing a lot of people, by the way, that are complaining about the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry or the ad hoc committee that are broadcasted by SABC stations. I'm not quite sure. They're like, those people, what's the point of broadcasting the commission if you are going to interrupt it so many times? I mean, I did take I was like, let me just check it out. I think many people are complaining about SAFM. I know I digressed, but hey, they were complaining about SAFM, and I was like, let me listen to SAFM when it's broadcasting the Madlanga Commission. Oh my gosh, especially after 3. Oh, you'll get 10 to 12 adverts. They might as well just stop it right there. From 3 o'clock, you stop going to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, because every second, whoever the host there, horrendous. And this is what I'm trying to say, that once we have a creator economy, SAFM will force itself to follow what the people want. The people of South Africa right now, they want to hear what's going on in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. And then you having interruptions. But then again, I have to also be fair to SAFM. This is a South African Broadcasting Corporation, that station. They ate the money. So they need those adverts to make money so that they can pay these hosts. So as a person in the creator space, here's a business opportunity to, I think Sizwe Mpofu does provide, but it's on YouTube. Not everybody is on YouTube. And I'm talking those that are on the road, they relying on SAFM and they are listening to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Maybe you need to create a radio station. Go and find out the requirements that ICASA requires of you, the registration, the fees, and things of that nature, and have your own radio station. But don't do what SAFM is doing. Just don't. Anyways, I think I'll leave this video right here. I've said enough about the G20 and the creator economy. I hope maybe next time when they have another one in the US in Miami, is it Florida or Miami? I think it's Miami. They're gonna be having it. Florida, Miami. They might, talk about it. I don't know. Anyways, have yourselves a great weekend and happy G20. I hope it is going to make a difference, which I doubt, to South Africans. But we need to have a conversation about the future. We cannot ignore this one forever because it's going to affect your children. and yourself too. Anyways, goodbye.